It
What's going
is
on,
a
guys?
beautiful Tuesday night. Even though the sun is up, it's 6 p.m. California, bright and shining. It is hotter than ever, especially in the shop. But episode 96, we grow ever closer to 100. We have our guest, John K. with J.K. Bates. I'm excited for one, this conversation, just because John is a wellspring of knowledge in a wide variety of fishing, which is going to be a lot of fun. But also, I have spent the better half of this year dialing the crankbait, and John makes some amazing crankbaits, custom crankbaits, and I fished them, loved them, ton of fun. So, John, how are you doing?
Doing well. How you boys doing? Good to be here.
Good, 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 good. Can't
It's
complain.
it's been a long day, and I'm excited to talk fishing right now.
Me too,
It's
bro.
uh,
Me
it's
too.
it's nice. I mean, I feel like I've been up all day, and it's just been like a go, 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 go. And we hopped on a few minutes ago, kind of just sat back there, chit chatted. I mean, I have my feet up. I told you, I got cushions for my seat for the first time. I mean, I'm big chilling right now. I am really
Let's
excited
go.
for it. So we talked a little bit about SK, who was the first comment. It's good to see you. I call him Funkle for Fun
Yep.
Uncle.
Fun
Uncle
uncle. I
Fud.
love
But
it.
we know,
Carl,
Funkle,
what's
we know
up?
you're on the water. You just keep us updated with the fish you catch. But we're going to jump right into this. Charlie, I know you mentioned that we have tackle meet at the end of the month. We'll do a little bit more research on that to bring you guys some more information.
Yeah, we'll be posting it
Uh,
along the way.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on it, so I can't tell you guys what the information is. But Tackle Meet's awesome. Actually, speaking of Tackle Meet, you, J.K. Bates, and
hmm
SK were there. Was that your first one, or have you been
That was
to
my
a
that was
handful?
my second one.
You did the San Pedro one
Nice.
too, huh?
Yeah, San Pedro last like October or November, something like that, or December. I
Yeah.
forget when it was, but there's a little bit
Yeah,
of a
I'm not
gap in
totally
between my
sure.
two. But
It was the one that
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think you went, Daniel.
yeah, I was
But
about
it
to
was
say
the
I
one
don't
that
think
was
I've
by the
been.
brewery. It was in
yeah, it
front
was
of
in
the
the brewery.
brewery.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
I
a good
would have
spot.
been at the brewery.
It was a good spot.
Did you
We're
try
gonna
the
we're gonna
beer?
have to go back.
Oh yeah. Actually, my little brother had his wedding reception there, so it was kind
Oh,
of a small
nice.
world.
Nice.
Yeah, when I pulled in, I was like, I've already been here. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the Stone Brewery, which is wildly popular
fix
towards
your
St.
fix your headphones. I think you lost your headphone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound far.
Yeah, I sound far away.
All right. Well, keep talking amongst yourselves. I'm gonna mute
Oh,
There you
there we
myself.
go.
go.
You're good.
Oh, hey, good,
Hey.
golden. I was just saying the
So,
Stone Brewery is well known. You most likely have had their beer before, just out and about. But it's a cool
so
place. I think I've had lunch there.
I
Yeah, good spot.
Stone Brewery.
I don't know if it's Stone. I
Yeah,
know that it was supposed to get switched over. Somebody was buying it out. I don't know who bought it out, but I know that it was shutting down the brewery side, or somebody was changing it up or doing something. Last I heard.
hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't actually fish over there, which is the only reason why. That's the only reason, or the only way I get my news. So if I haven't fished the local scene in a while, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So, for you guys that don't know who John is, John, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, and where can
Yeah.
we find your stuff before we
Yeah.
continue?
Yeah. So my name is John Kay. I'm the owner of JK Baits. I'm a custom lure painter and designer here in. I live in Carlsbad, but so Southern California. I paint baits. I've got a website, jkbaits.us, where everything that I do is uploaded. I do custom drops, email drops, and I do a lot of repaints for people. So people send me their swim baits and things like that all the time, and I slap on some brand new paint for them. And
Give some life to old baits.
absolutely, because a lot of us have favorite baits that we're just like, man, I wish the paint looked better. Send it
I
up.
don't know how anyone keeps a bait that long. Just saying.
it's
I
mostly it's the big swim bait guys. It's not,
Yeah.
crankbaits are, that's why crankbaits are 10, $15 and swim baits are 50,
Yeah,
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 the longevity of it all.
for sure.
So we talked a little bit backstage about your life in Mexico as a charter.
hmm
I want to know a little bit more about that. So, what piqued your interest in Mexico, and how did you get into chartering in Mexico? I guess.
Uh, it literally was kind of a whim. So I grew up fishing actually East Coast. My dad's from Miami Beach. So he used to send me out there every summer when I was a kid to stay with my cousins. And all I did was fish 24/7. So I fished for, you know, snook, tarpon, grouper, all kinds of stuff from the shore, whatever. And then, so fast forward my life, I lived in Tucson, Arizona, which was near no water. There's nothing to do, but that's where I went to school. And I was literally bartending at TGI Fridays. And I was just getting through with school and I didn't know what the heck I was going to do with myself. And I was talking with my dad and he literally was like, "What would you want to do for the rest of your life?" And I'm like, "Well, fish, of course." Like that was my whole
Oh,
thing. So she had a friend that worked at a local bank and he helped me get a loan and I bought a boat, actually in Florida, and it had it towed all the way to the border, a 30-foot pursuit. It was a lot of boat for my first boat. Didn't even know how to turn it on. That was a whole nother story once I got down there. But so I literally hooked it up to my F350, pulled it into Mexico, and that was the beginning of the craziest experience, 6 years of my life as a 22-year-old driving into a foreign country, into a fishing village, and I'm the only white guy, taking people fishing, and they hated my guts for at least 2 years. I mean, I got robbed. The port captain held my boat up almost every day. I got extorted like on a daily basis down there, but it was worth it.
sheesh.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But after a couple
Yeah,
years,
the good old white person tax.
oh, bro. I mean, especially when you're a young kid, But what
Oh
happened
yeah.
is I started catching fish. So when I got there, nobody helped me out. They wouldn't tell me anywhere to go. So I had to figure it all out on my own. But I used a lot of my East Coast techniques and then brought them there. And it's stuff that they weren't doing. Like I started trolling for grouper off the beach in like 20 feet of water with big, big mirror lures in like pink and big Rapala,
Oh, super funny. Like those Dodgers type.
or
Uh.
just a big Nomad, basically, just like a Nomad,
Mm-hmm.
Nomad DTX. And I went out there and I could troll on one engine at like 3.5 knots, and I was smoking sardinero groupers, like bringing them back after a couple hours of fishing, which was unheard of where I was at because you had to go like 50 miles out to catch stuff. So I unlocked a whole new way of fishing, and then I started getting respect because then all the pongas started doing the same crap, and um, so I mean, after a few years, it was all great. But man, it was the first couple of years was the most
But you
trying.
stuck through though, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I got pulled over by the cops every day probably for the first few years, and I finally got to meet the chief of police. Gave me his phone number, so I had him on speed dial. So whenever I got pulled over, after a while, the cops caught on that stop pulling that kid over because he knows the jefe. So after I got to know the right people, it was on. But the fishing was incredible. Fishing was badass.
What
So
part of Mexico were you at?
have you guys ever heard of Puerto Peñasco, Rocky Point?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was in Party Town, USA, or Mexico. Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah, but I was
Very fun.
back then. I was the only. And how I got there was I was there on vacation with my family, and we literally were watching people buying condos left and right, and they were building sky rises, and we are like, "What's going on?" They're like, "People are buying up condos, blah blah blah." So it's those people are going to need to go fishing at some point. So that was the kind of the whole idea was
Let
give
me
them,
do it.
Hey.
yeah, give them good tackle. We're the only guys using braided line down there. Nobody ever heard of that. So we're catching fish in 300 feet that nobody was catching. They couldn't feel the bites. They're all using 100-pound mono and things like that. So if you've ever been
Yeah.
fishing in Mexico and a pongo, you know what I'm talking about. It's they get away with
Yeah.
barely enough.
We
That's a
kind of
bucket list trip for me.
experienced. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
it's worth
dad
it.
and I experienced that. Uh, just that kind of experience in Costa Rica, just because any
hmm
of the gear that's sent down there is 5 times as much, and the local people, the ticos and ticas, are just not going to purchase gear like that. Like that's where we learned how to hand line, which is a lot of
Hmm.
fun. But you see a lot of people hand lining just because
Oh
you
yeah,
can just slap line on whatever you want and
and that's
still
a good
catch
time
fish.
too. We used to do that a lot. We used to
Hand
hand line.
lining?
Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, it's mono
Yeah.
y mono for
So
sure.
out. So
My literally, huh?
Yeah. See what you did
so
there.
So
with
go ahead, Danny.
outside of the group, or what else were you guys catching?
So we caught a lot of halibut. So we're catching big ones like 40 inches all the time. Huge white sea bass, yellowtail. We started getting into Dorado. I started cluing into those. They were few and far between up there because the water was really shallow. But if we find a temperature break or something like that, you always could run into nothing big like little cows and things. Sometimes never saw too many bulls, but Dorado, a lot of grouper black sea bass. Um, and then golden spotted sea bass. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of those before. That was they're 5 to 10 pounds, and they look like huge spotties, but they've got gold spots on them, and they're delicious. But those were like kind of our garbage fish out there. But they were literally like 5, 10 pounders we were catching, and people got tired of catching them. They're like, "Can we
Golden
catch any?"
spotties.
Yeah, they're called extranjeros in Spanish.
Extranjeros.
Yeah, yeah, that was they're
I'll have
tasty.
to do some research on that.
Yeah, those are awesome. But yeah, most of my trips were 50 miles out, so we were running full days, full days. It was a long days out there.
Yeah,
And was it all like wh- go ahead, Danny, I'm sorry.
I took a trip last year to El Salvador. We went like 40 miles offshore. Was trolling for like marlin, which is so not like my style of fishing. I
Yeah,
mean, that is high speed boat race. You're just like, hitting waves, hoping, needle in a haystack kind of
yeah, you run
fishing
into
right
them.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ours
I
was you
mean,
get into a spot and you're gonna catch fish. And it was guaranteed. Like you're gonna load the boat up if when we got to our spot. It was so good.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a
that's
spotty, but
awesome.
with like
Yeah,
gold
So,
stripes and
are you
dots.
looking up on your phone? And
Yeah.
you're not going to hold up a picture? How dare you?
yeah, those
Yeah,
So
things are
is
let
big.
that
me re-find it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it looks just like
there
a
you
spotty with
go.
a
So
bunch of gold
interesting.
spots on it. But they're huge. They
So
get to be really big.
the controversial question would be: have you eaten spotty then?
It's funny. I have. I mean, here and there. I mean, maybe way back in the day when I first started fishing, especially down there where I was at. I mean, spotties we'd use them for bait. I know people don't want to hear that,
Yeah,
but I used them for
Hey,
grouper
it's
bait.
another country.
Yeah, we were cutting dorsal
I've
fins
seen
off
people.
and sending them down there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It does
I've
look
seen
delicious.
people catch like a 6 incher, nose hook that, and then absolutely destroy a Dorado,
Grouper
like a decent
or
sized
grouper, right? They
Dorado.
they
oh yeah, we used to catch huge grouper off spotties, man. You just got to give them a little hair trim and send them down there.
Really, just
cut the mohawk
to
down.
cut off the spikes on them.
Yeah, because what their defense mechanism is that they lock up, so their cheeks
Yeah.
spread out, and then they stick up. That once you get the dorsal fin off, then anything can swallow them. There's nothing you can do. But yeah, we used to catch some big grouper doing that, especially the days we couldn't get like on the max or sardines. Sometimes the bait was hard to find, so you could always load up a sabiki with a bunch of little baby spotties and still go have a day. So
So I
makes
guess the
like a
next
big rig
question
day.
is what brought you back?
Economics, yeah, the back through '08, things were starting to take a crap. When I was down there, things were slowing down big time. I mean, I expanded all the way out. I mean, I was running two boats. I ended up with two boats down there. I also ran a Grady White, bought a little center console, and opened a second business with another guy. Things were booming for when it was good. It was awesome. And then literally
Yeah.
it stopped overnight. I literally woke up out of my condo, and the sky cranes that are building condos and all that stuff moving around or whatever, standstill. Like you can hear a mouse fart. It was crazy. And I was like, what was going on? And people were freaking out. So it was time to come back. It's that was the toughest like decision to make was like folding in, so throwing in the towel and coming back. Because I thought that was my
Yeah.
lifestyle forever. driving a golf
Dude,
cart, wearing flip-flops.
I met a guy like that. Used to have a scuba thing down in Baja,
Yeah,
and you know, when it's time to go, it's time to go.
yeah, but when it's going, it's fun though.
I could only imagine.
Yeah, one day you go back.
We'll go back.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I
So have
mean,
you?
I would definitely say the economy has changed probably uh, in a lot of the coast of, I mean, the Central America in general. I mean, Costa Rica had a huge boom 10 years ago, and I mean, it's super touristic now.
For sure. Same with the town that I was at. I went back year and a half ago. I didn't go back for 10 years. I mean, they had a Sam's Club, they had Walmart, they had dude. When I lived there, we had nothing. Like when I went to Costco every 2 3 weeks up in Phoenix, load up my truck, come back, throw it in my freezer, and but they've got all the fast food, Burger King, it's all there. And
Yeah,
I'm literally like
it's a lot.
crazy. It was
It
crazy. I was
it's a lot
disappointed.
It's
Yeah.
Americanized for sure. Especially like
Well,
towns near
what's
the
funny?
border. You know,
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh, super down next to the border. I mean, a lot of people just cross the border for lunch. They're like, hey, you want to go get some better tacos on the other side real quick?
100%.
And come
Yeah.
back.
I don't think they make
Yeah,
better tacos than on the other side. Just
you're saying the
saying.
other side doesn't make
I
better
ate some
tacos?
I ate some bomb
Well,
tacos.
I just want to say that we have a very good cultural diversity in California.
For
And I
sure.
think this is one of the
True
best
that.
eateries in the world because you can genuinely find authentic, amazing cuisine around the world here in California. Like
For sure.
there's some people that say this you're gonna find better Korean like barbecue and just Korean food here in California than actually in Korea. So, and
I believe
I
that.
think that probably stands for a lot of different restaurants or just
Cultures and
kinds
stuff.
of foods in general. Yeah. I mean, we
Hmm.
have some of the best foods in general. I mean,
Fix your
we have
headphone.
places in California.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
We have places in
Ah,
California
We
that
lost you again. This is why this is raw. It's raw. It's unedited,
uncut.
uncut.
any better, any worse.
You're
There we go.
there.
You're back. You're back.
I
I don't
wonder
know
what's
why
going
they keep
on.
cutting out. They just started having issues, which is a bummer. But I mean, we have Little Tokyo, we have Chinatown, we have
Hmm.
this, we have that, and then we have some crazy people who are just really good at cooking, and then like do like uh pit like whole pigs and pits in the back of in their backyards.
Oh, for sure,
So
dude. For sure.
and
Some
arguably,
barbacoa, you know?
I was just about to say we have some really good barbecue here too. I know a lot of people talk about Texas, but hey, I think California's top notch eatery just due to the
No, for
diversity.
sure.
So
So
I think if you look, you can find good food here.
let's we didn't even talk about fish. Do you guys have you guys been fishing lately?
Absolutely not. I sent all my reels in to Real Tweaks. Trevor, much love. I have like
Big shout outs
one
to Real
reel on
Tweaks.
me. Yeah, I have one reel on me, and it's been an absolute, I guess, grind to feel like I want to fish right now. I'm a little bit burnt out. I'm also hyper fixating on the A rig right now. So I'm thinking about how do I throw the A rig more effectively? How can I present it better? Just in general, like, all right, do I need to put 1/8 ounce heads on there to make it go slower to fish it better? What's the difference between 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce, and half ounce? Uh, should I fish the pylons with a half ounce just so it's shock and awe? So I'm hyper focusing on the A rig without even fishing the A rig. I'm trying to think about what ways I want to go about throwing that. So on that topic, have you guys fished the A rig lately?
No.
Last time I threw it was when I was in Mexico, but yeah, I haven't, or down fishing, bass fishing a few months ago, but not in the salt. I throw it a lot. I used to throw it a lot in the freshwater.
The judge just gave you a shout out for sponsoring Spotty Bowl. So
Phew, I still owe him a few baits. I got to paint him up a couple customs. Got to hook him up. I got you, bro.
I've not fished the A rig. I've only fished the A rig once, and that was on Luke's boat. Caught a couple fish on it. But never had success on shore.
You know, the A rig like a couple of years ago. I mean, you threw that thing in Marina Del Rey, and you were getting bit. Now it's like, man, like I can't even buy a bite with the A rig, and maybe it's because they see it more often. Maybe it's just not the flavor that they want. But I'm trying to crack that a little bit. Like I spent last, I don't know, 8 months throwing the crankbait, so I've kind of dialed that in. But I'm trying to prep for my win next year in
There we
Spotty
go.
Bowl. How do I win? Got second this year. What do I need to do to go all the way to the top? I'm wearing that belt. See this blank space right there? That's where the belt's going to go
Oh
next
yeah,
year.
good. It's a good spot. It's a good spot.
That looks like a beautiful spot. So how do you fish your A rig? If you do fish it, John?
If I do fish an A rig, I fish it weedless most of the time. That's the start. The one I have a lot of trepidation when it comes to throwing an A rig because it's usually $25 worth of stuff that's dangling around. Um, and I'm not missing because when a fish is hitting an A rig, they're hitting it not because they're curious, they're hitting it because they want to kill it. They're smashing the
Yeah.
spear. So having an exposed hook to me is just asking for problems. I mean, I'm not if I could catch a fish with a Kitech, weedless Kitech, I can catch a on an A rig. So I always throw it weedless because I get them back more often than I'll lose them. But it's just I just change it up. I mean, I don't throw it a lot in the salt, and that's kind of what I've been doing more so than freshwater lately. Um, but yeah, I would say probably, and I stick to smaller baits with one big one on one of the arms.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to
Now,
stagger it.
just because we're on the topic of it, there are several ways to go about doing that to where it's like you have the four with the smaller ones, you have the one in the middle that's going to be your little bit bigger one. I know some
Hmm.
people throw the blades up top as
Yep,
flashers, vibration,
Three
and
baits in
they
the
have the
bottom.
three in the bottom.
that's usually how
There's a
I'm
lot of
throwing it.
people that just throw five
Three on the
heads
bottom
on
and
there.
blades on top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So right now, I'm trying to increase my knowledge, my capability, uh, just for next year. I want to say this year, though, in general, not a lot of people were throwing the A rig or were not succeeding as much. At least the people
Is it
I
legal
talked
for
to,
Spotty Bowl? Is it okay to throw in Spotty Bowl?
Judge, and yes, it is. I haven't heard any.
Yeah. I'd assume so.
I haven't heard any the nose on it, and I know a lot of people have been fishing it, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, I've thrown it. I've only caught
He's
one fish
yep.
on the
Yes,
A
it
rig this
is.
year.
It is
I've
legal
caught
to
one
throw an A
fish on the
rig.
A rig this year. So if it's not legal, then it didn't. It's not like it changed my game much. So
So let's get into this painting. And that's what were you gonna say, Daniel? Sorry.
I was going to say, John, what's your favorite way to fish, and what are you doing?
My
Oh, there you go. Before
number
we
one
go,
favorite way to fish is throwing a jerk bait. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I like throwing a jerk bait, but I don't. I throw it with intent. And what I mean by that, when I throw a jerk bait, I don't just chuck it and wind it back in. I'm whacking my rod against the side of my boat for the most part. I'm getting that thing to dart, dive. I'm assuming something staring at it, and I'm trying to catch the most aggressive fish in the area. I'm not trying to catch all the fish. You know what I mean? So like when I'm fishing with buddies on on my boat throwing a jerk bait, they're like, "What are you doing?" Because I'm just whack, whack, whack. But I try to catch. I'm trying to entice something to bite. I'm not feeding him anything that's like natural looking for the most part. It's
Yeah.
a pink jerk bait. You know what I mean, with a bunch of stripes on it or something like that. So I love throwing a jerk bait because I love getting that off the paws and then I go to slap it again and it just broadleads up.
boom.
I love it. I love that
Well,
stuff.
one of the things that I say is I'm looking for the hungry bass. I'm not
Hmm.
looking to make a bass hungry because
Yep.
it's like I don't always have 7 hours to fish. It's more like I have an hour to fish. I'm going to power through this and hopefully I can find
Exactly.
one bass that's willing to bite.
100%. Yeah. There's always a
Hey,
bass out of a whole school.
that would be cool, man. I don't sell bites. Damn, I don't sell bites. You- No, okay, no.
I don't know. I'm trying to see how it's going to work. I'm trying
I
to sell
don't
bites.
sell.
I'm
I
trying to
don't
sell
sell
bites.
bites. I only, I only seek hungry bass. No,
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. We're just going to let you keep going. We're just
Spitballing.
going
I'm
to
just
let you keep
spitballing.
going until you wear yourself out.
no,
Okay,
because you're
keep
saying
going.
like, I don't. I go out for hungry bass. I don't try to look for a bite, right? Like you don't try to.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I'm trying
Anyways,
to sell bikes. I'm going door to door selling bikes. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm just trying to piss somebody off when I go. That's all I'm doing.
I'm
Absolutely.
pissing you off. You better bite it.
That's right.
Yeah,
Gonna hit him in the face with
yeah.
it.
Especially
Yeah.
with hard baits, I feel like you can piss them off a little bit more, but
As long as you're running it into something, that's when they shine. If you're throwing in open water and your bait's not hitting anything, if you're throwing a jerk bait, you can't hit stuff. But if your crankbait isn't hitting something, you're throwing the wrong
It's not
thing.
working.
Yeah, that's why you won't get bit. They rarely hit just a crankbait swimming along the, doing their thing. It's got to
you're
run into a
telling
rock.
me that all the commercials I see on Instagram of the crankbait swimming right above the bottom, not hitting anything, it's not going to work. It just looks pretty in the water.
It will work, but when you're getting all those active fish, but when you got one fish sitting by a rock, if you threw your bait over, there's times where you can throw it the same rock 3 times, and it's only when you threw it to the right side of the rock did the fish
Mm-hmm.
bite it. So
Mm-hmm.
he's positioned on that rock somewhere, and if you're just swimming over the top, and especially if it's the middle of the day, he's just going to watch that crankbait go by. But if you ram that thing into that rock when he's sitting next to it, he doesn't care. He's not hitting it because he's hungry. He's hitting it because it pissed him off, and that's what you're trying to
Yeah.
do.
I will have to say, especially for spotties, if you're not breaking bills, you're not
Yeah.
fishing correct.
You're not. That's why I
Which
sell at the
is,
tackle meet. I sell 5 baits at a time. I try to. I'm like, you're gonna lose one of these or 2 of these. If you're not losing them, you're not throwing them right.
hey, you know what they say: one is none, two is one, because you're going to lose one. You always have
For
to
sure.
Yeah. Whenever I bought baits, before I started making my own, I always bought 2 of the same color. I never just bought one because
Yeah.
I knew that if that bait was going to be hot. Now 9 times out of 10, I got boxes full of hot baits that were never hot, and I got lots of duplicates. But every now and again,
So
you find that one bait, and it's like,
really, really cool transition. How did that happen? How did you start painting your own baits?
that was, yeah, so weird. I was actually thinking about that like the very beginning. I was when I moved back to the States, I was a tool guy, like a Cornwall tool guy. I had a tool truck and had a route up in Phoenix. And the business model is you give a guy a tool and he pays you like $20 a week or whatever until the tool's paid off. So I was coming
Give
around
a
to the
guy a
shop.
tool and he eats for a day.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I only eat for a day until he pays me for that damn tool.
Yeah.
I was trying to eat for a week. But yeah, so this one guy, every week I'd come in to get $20 and he kept giving me the runaround. So one day he literally gave me, and it was really nice Iwata airbrush in this case, and I had no idea what it was or how to use it. And he's like, "Will you take this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what the hell? You're not going to give me money, but here's an airbrush." And my in-laws were
So,
living with my fiance and I at the time, so we had an air compressor in the garage and plugged that sucker in, and I sucked for years, and then just kind of kept at it. But that was a
but
lot
those
of
are
fun.
good. That's a good gun, right?
Oh, awesome gun. I mean, I
Yes.
torched it. I didn't know how to take care of it.
More
There
than
was a
20
big gap.
bucks, Charlie.
No,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. No, I know. It's nice equipment. That's what I'm saying. It's a nice gun.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
the name.
Yeah, a couple $100 for it, I think, something like that for that. But that's they're very touchy, and I know how to take care of it. So I airbrushed back in the day, but I didn't start airbrushing again until probably about 5 years ago is when I really started to get back into it. I did all kinds of other bait stuff in between, but nothing with the airbrush. But I prefer the airbrush.
I just love making stuff in general. So I'm
Yeah.
always like, man, I want to get an airbrush. Man, I want to do this. Man, I want to do that. And I have to stop myself because I just don't have the time uh, to do everything that I want to do, which is
Amen.
everything, by the
Yep.
way.
Yeah, I want to get back to pouring lead again. That's what I used to do. That's how I got into bait company stuff.
Hey,
Yeah, I used to pour a
anything in
lot of lead.
specific, or just like do it mold the heads?
So, so actually, this is how I really got into the bait making world, where I started to do it as like a job, kind of. Is I was at the Bassmaster Classic, like 2009 or something like that, and I was actually working there in a booth for another company, not a fishing company, just a company in general, and I was right next to River to Sea, so I was hanging out with like Ish Monroe, John Murray. I don't know if you know who those guys are, big bass guys. So, anyways, um, I was pouring some lead with my father-in-law back in Phoenix, and we were pouring shaky heads. And this is
Nice.
so we came up, and there's a lot of argument, but back in the day, this didn't exist. So we took what made us different is we took the shaky heads and we put a pin inside the screw lock. So when you put the worm, you could start it on the
Yeah.
spring. So, but that didn't exist back in the day. We were putting safety pins in there and smashing our mold down and pouring these things. Long story short, this Lake Fork Tackle in Dallas, Texas, got wind of my little shaky heads, and I was pouring them, like hundreds of them, for these guys in Texas. Once they saw our shaky head, they were like, "Who the f is this guy making these shaky heads?" So I was pouring like
Yeah.
hundreds of these things, dude. And we didn't know we had anything like super special until now. Like every freaking shaky head on the market has a set pin to start the worm on the damn shaky head, and we thought we were just being clever, but we didn't do anything with it. We had no idea. So I don't know if we came up with it, but the guys in Texas never saw it. I know that. So,
Yeah.
but that's what I used to do. That's how I got started in the whole bait making and selling and stuff like that. Was all that. That was the
Hey, that's
beginning.
cool.
Beginning. Yeah,
Right. Not a lot of
I
people could say that.
yeah. Just lots of random stuff.
I feel like it's a little bit difficult to innovate in the fishing community right now.
It's hard
I feel like
for
there's just a
sure.
lot of stuff out there. I feel like there's a lot of awesome people doing awesome stuff.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's hard to find the niche. I'm thinking about getting into 3D printing or learning that stuff. I've got all the woodworking stuff and carving, but I'm trying to come up with like my own JK bait. Instead of just painting
Hmm.
with baits all the time, I want to come up with something that's maybe something for saltwater and freshwater that can combine, like a big swim bait of some kind or a top water. I don't know, but that's what I'm kind of trying to come up with right now. Is in the lab, I'm coming up with a new idea of some kind.
Dude,
Now you
3D printing is
mentioned
becoming a whole different like beast in his own, right? Like
Yeah, I
you're
don't know if I
you're
want to go
able to
down the
make
rabbit hole.
no,
I
right?
think I need to, but I think I need to.
Some people are out there creating some crazy stuff, man.
Yep.
I
And it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to see.
my uncle gave me a huge 3D printer that I have no idea how to use, so it just kind of sits here.
What?
Yeah.
You gotta. It's a commitment. You can't just turn it on. But
I
it's a whole
downloaded
other language.
Blender. Yeah, so I downloaded Blender. I used it for approximately 5 minutes and then was like, oh, I don't
Guys,
have the
that's
time.
I'm out.
Yeah, it's super cool, awesome. I wish I had the time to do it, but like I said, there's so much that I want to do and so little time. It's just that
Hmm.
I have to stay committed to what I am doing or risk losing it all because I'm spreading myself too thin.
Man, I've never heard this
Yeah.
side of you.
Of me? Oh, I'm trying to outsource this whole thing. Who wants to buy Fish RX right now? Give me an offer.
It's for sale.
I want to go back to fishing.
No, he doesn't want to sell it.
I'll
That's
be
his
your chief
baby.
marketing.
Hey, no pun
Just give me
intended.
slugs. Yeah,
That's
give me
right.
slugs, and I will be your chief marketing executive. I don't even know. You don't even have to give me a title. I'll be your I'll be the chief social media executive.
Chief social media.
The
So
chief
what's your
social media.
like? What's your favorite bait to paint? Crankbaits, jerk baits,
Um, I would.
everything.
I like to paint it all. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I do like to paint crankbaits. It's just deep divers. You know, painting crawfish, things like that. They're a little bit more intricate. A lot of detail going on. So I probably like to paint that the most. But I mean, put any of my hands, I'll go to town. So once the paint starts to flow, I love it all.
Right? Like you just start running wild with it. Do you ever
I
find
never.
yourself like? Do you ever find yourself like with like creative block?
Oh yeah, yeah. My friends can attest to it. I really should have got all this fired up like a lot sooner. But people that are artists, they have to. You get creative block, and like when it's gone, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I try to walk into my shop, turn the lights on, and I'm just staring at baits, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do right now. So I just turn the lights back off, and I'll come back when it hits me, and then it could just be a picture that I see. Then all of a sudden, it all snaps, and then I'm like, I dive back in the shop, and then off we go.
Yeah,
Have
and then it's
you
on to it again.
Yep.
have you ever dreamt about a color
Oh yeah.
multiple days in a row and you're like, I gotta put this on paper or something. I gotta get this out of my mind because the fact that I've dreamt about it multiple days in a row is either something's wrong inside my brain or it is a great idea and I just need to get it out.
The universe telling you something.
Right?
I know.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh.
It's
I've
dropping
had
that
a couple
idea in
colors
your
where
head.
Yeah. If it's
yeah, where
there, I
I've,
mean,
I've
that's
like woken up from like a deep sleep and I'm like, I gotta remember that color. That looks pretty sick.
hell yeah. When those things start calling, you got to answer it. At least throw it down and see what it looks like. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started throwing a
That
lot of
that
mint.
is that is true, man. Sometimes you get those ideas and you're like, man, this would be cool, you know? And then you just let it go.
Yeah, I copied I copied a robo worm the other day. One of my favorite colors of robo worms. I wanted to put it on a crankbait just to do it. It looks all right. It didn't quite come out as I was hoping it, but the colors are spot on. It's just like it looks different on a robo.
What color was it?
Prison shad.
Mm.
So it's got like a morning dawn belly to it, but it's got kind of like a clear with like green tint on the top with some black flake. It's the only lake I use it at is Lake Hodges in Escondido. It's like my money color there, and I'll give that away. That's free. That's free juice right there. Um, but it's a
There you
money
go. Give 'em
color.
tips.
That's right. But any other lake, I hate it. Like it just maybe it's. But if you put me on that, I mean, it's the only worm. The only worm I need to bring is I'll bring three sizes in that color,
How do you
and that's
go
it.
about how do you go about fishing the robo worm?
Lots of different ways. But I'm a West Coast. I was an Arizona guy, so I was big drop shotter in Arizona. That's what we did. So I would say for the most part, I'd say 80% of the time I'm drop shotting with a robo worm. I don't throw a lot of shaky head. I used to, but only if I'm like in a smallmouth spot, place where there's going to be smallies or something, where they're eating crawfish. But I'm usually just drop shotting a robo, and I just vary the length of the leader depending. But and generally weedless most of the time. But I know, but I tip out. Have you guys ever seen when they rig it just on the tip of the hook?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's usually how I rig it. Keeps it a little bit weedless,
Oh
but
yes, nose hook.
not enough where it's going to bunch up on the hook. And there's nothing worse than a fish jumping on a drop shot because a lot of times they just spit the bait right back in your face because the worm gets caught up in the bend of the hook, so the hook doesn't quite like turn.
Yeah.
It sticks them, but it doesn't turn and like hook them. So when they come up and jump, it's like I did that, didn't realize that for years. And some old fart showed me, yeah, you're doing it all wrong. And then he showed me, and it was like night and day difference. Crazy how that works.
When I was getting into my bass fishing scene, I was fishing Kenneth Hahn a lot, and one day I finally hooked into a bass, a decent bass. I mean, nothing crazy, but a decent bass. And I mean, I'm so stoked. I've been fishing. This is like not my first time. I mean, I've grinded out mornings there. I finally hook into something, and I mean, I set the hook right. I didn't realize that my drag was so loose that I didn't actually set the hook. Comes up, tail walks a little bit, just spits the hook. I don't think I've been back to Kenneton. I just,
Losing
I
Ah,
hooked him. I hooked him. That was good enough for me.
good enough for you.
a guy over the weekend caught a 16.8 or 16.9 out in Arizona on a roboworm, a 6-inch straight
I
tail.
saw. Was that video? I saw the video. They waited, and he was like, "It's a 13 for sure," and he put it on a scale. It says 16.
That's the lake I grew up fishing. I got little plaques on
Such
in
a
the
fat
tournaments
bass,
there.
man.
That lake is
I
that lake is turning to like into the mecca right now. That lake is on fire.
Because of that fish.
It's been the last year or so. That lake has just been the lake levels were up for a lot of years, so they had a lot of places to go and make babies. It's a big lake.
What's the
It's
world record right now?
22,
Oh, okay.
something like that,
what's
out
the
of
state
Japan.
record for Arizona?
I think it broke it, so it was 16.5, and it was, but that record was back from like the 80s or 90s. Matt Shura, a West Coast pro, caught it like way back in the day. So it stood for a
Dude,
long
yeah, I
time,
saw that, man. He
and he caught
was
it on a drop shot. Like that shows you right there, guys. Like that's almost a
drop shots.
17-pound bass. When they say drop shot catch is nothing but dinks, you're fishing in the wrong spot. If you're catching
Hey,
dinks,
man.
move, get out of there,
Hey, big elephants eat peanuts, right?
bro. 100%. That's a good analogy right there.
I got
It's
that from this guy.
also
Yeah, the
from
truth.
me. I throw way too big. I've had to go smaller this year than like ever before. Not
Yeah,
ever before, but
we actually
the
filmed one of
last.
the spotty bowl.
I know I want to film them all next year, but because I'm going to win next year, I
There
don't
we
know if
go.
I should disclose my techniques. So I don't know if I'm going to have to like close door. Like I don't. We'll figure out the filming technique.
Mute that part.
Yeah, right. Every time he says something,
Yeah,
it's like,
you're you're just gonna get a silhouette of me just walking and talking, and everything else is just like blurred out. Can't see where I am
no, but yeah,
because
it
we
was
take a
all
pass at
that
13
day was
p.m.
all about drop shotting.
Yeah,
And
it, or I want to say what March, April, May,
it was like in
maybe
May.
even a little bit of February. Well, I'm just saying those
Oh,
months it really slowed down, and I was throwing the drop shot, and then kind of like May, June, and July, I couldn't get bit on the drop shot. It was a really weird year this year. Like they were very picky about what they were choosing, at least for me. But that's
the
why
judge
that's why they say
asks,
versatile.
how long does it take to get proficient on the airbrush?
Yeah, a long time. I mean, I'm always improving my technique. I'm always learning something new. I probably got to where I felt comfortable. It probably took a couple years because what it really comes down to, it's you could buy an airbrush, set everything up, and start painting, but it's after you're done painting, it's taking
To
care of the airbrush.
the care for
Because
it. Yeah.
if you don't care for your airbrush, the next time you go and paint, you won't be able to. Like something's going to be off, something's going to be stuck, or I mean, I can't tell you how many airbrushes I went through before I learned how to actually take care of my airbrush. And now I shoot automotive clear coat when I finish my baits. I use the same airbrush for everything. And it works flawlessly every time because I learned how to do it. So that's the first key. If you can keep your airbrush clean, you'll get better faster. If that makes sense because you're going to have
Yeah.
a good performing equipment. If you're fighting your equipment, then you'll give it up or you'll never do it. But the first key is to learn how to clean it and take care of it, and then the painting. But painting is like I learned that you could use a lot of things to paint with. I paint with all different kinds of like if I'm in a grocery store, I'll buy a bag of oranges or whatever, and the net that comes with the oranges,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
you make it flat, it looks like scales, so lay that on a bait, put paint over it, and it looks pretty cool. You can keep it, but yeah, I use loofah sponges, all kinds of weird crap to paint with. But yeah, but I'd say it probably takes a good 2-3 years, I'd say, of burning through blanks and learning it to before you start to get really comfortable with it.
Yeah. How many guns are you running for, like, for your baits? Like, are you running 2, 3?
I've got 3, but I literally run 1 the whole
Oh,
time. I had the other 2 because I thought I'd want to run multiple colors, but the way that I paint is I paint a lot of baits at once. So I don't paint one bait at a time. I paint like 10 at a
yeah.
time. But I can paint 10 different ones at the same time. That's the way my crazy brain works. I can literally do 10 different patterns, but one color I can use it 4 times. You know what I mean? So like if
Hmm.
I'm spraying a brown, I know that I'm painting this, this, and this, so I can hit all 3. You know what I mean? And then it all at the end, you're like, oh shit, I just painted 10 baits. Like I was like at the end, I'm always like, crap, that just happened. Right on to the
What's
next.
your favorite bait to throw? What's your favorite crank color or crank bait to throw in the salt for spotties?
For spotties, it's OSP Blitz, hands down, hands down.
What does that
Here,
look
I'll
like?
grab. Let me grab one real quick. Hold on.
Charlie,
Do
have you
do
been
do do.
fishing lately?
Yeah, I actually went on a charter, on a twilight charter.
Oh yeah, we should get Caesar on for his birthday. But how'd that whole thing go?
It was cool, man. We we got to went out on the native sun. There was a couple of us. Um, did some sand bass fishing. Dropping on reefs and boulders and whatnot. Um,
Dude,
of
Twilight
course,
Twilight fishing is its own breed of people.
dude, it's fun. It's
I
fun.
mean,
Um, of course, I didn't join the jackpot, and guess who got jackpot?
that's the reason
Dude,
you got jackpot.
oh my
That's the
god, I was
reason
like, I
you
know.
got jackpot.
If I wouldn't have went in, I probably wouldn't have gotten it.
That's how it always works.
I, right? So I was
Yep.
just thinking in the beginning, I was like, I'm not gonna worry about it.
I have
Um,
learned more card games and ways to bet on a Twilight trip than I've done anywhere in my life.
dude.
The
So I
people
got
that go on
limits.
Twilight
They're all
are
about gambling.
lifers.
Yep.
Well, are lifers, and that's like they're like I'm getting away from like whatever is going on in their daily life. But I mean, there's some people that just go and I mean they go to play cards. And they'll drop like 1 or 2 times, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna
I'm
go
done.
nickel and dime in the galley, and it's hilarious.
Nah, dude.
It's
So
really fun card
so
games though.
I was stuck on getting a fish on plastic, right? Like I didn't want to throw bait. I'm just fixated on catching a fish on plastic. And then finally everybody's hooking up except me. So I'm like, gotta follow the trend. Um Bubba makes these. Bubba's the guy from
Yeah,
Bubba's
we
up
had
there
them
in
on.
Ventura County, or
Making
no,
sure.
where is it?
Oxnard.
Oxnard. Where's that landing? What is that landing called?
I want to
Anywho,
say Ventura.
nah. What's the
It's
landing
like
up there?
Ventura Landing or it's Oxnard Landing. I don't actually know the
No.
landing.
But okay, yeah, Bubba makes
Oh,
these
you're
cool
talking
little
about
like
like the Channel Islands.
channel islands. There you go. So Bubba makes these really cool lead heads, style, like it's like a get some head, but like a ball. I might be saying it wrong.
Does it wobble
Um,
like a shape, like a wobble head?
yeah, so it doesn't. It's a straight hook. It
Okay.
has a. I wish I could show it to you guys. And dude, we were getting bit. Like I started using squid, of course, and then figured out a bite and got limits. I got the biggest sculpin I've ever hooked on my life. It was pushing probably like 2.5 pounds. Um, so it was a pretty big
Some great
sculpin.
stuff.
Open. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and ended the night with a 3.5 sand bass.
Nice.
So yeah, dude, it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, let's see that, John.
So there's the crankbait
So
right
it's the
here.
more smaller profile body, right?
Well,
If
just
you
the
can
color
see,
in general.
Well, this is
Uh-huh.
a little crop. This is freshwater. It's a little crappie. But on the belly, there's like a little weight right here. It's kind of like a dredger's got it on the lip. If he has it on the
Oh,
belly, it's just got a subtle. There's not a whole lot of rattle to it. That's why a lot of
There we go.
crankbaits. I
We put it right
the
next to
rattles on your ear.
is it.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, it's just a little subtle, just a nothing. And so I'll paint it up to be like razor clam, or I'll paint it up a bunch of different ways. But this little bait, when
Yeah,
it goes down, it's the perfect depth for the bays for the most part. It'll run 12 feet. You know, if you can throw it on like 6 pound, 8 pound, you could probably go
That's
a
what I
little
was just gonna
deeper.
ask. Like, what size pound are you throwing in?
I'm not going to go any
insane.
bigger than 10 pound.
Insane.
I'll never go heavier than 10 pound in the bays ever. There's no need to, especially if you're throwing a lot of the deep diver stuff. Like most people, when they'll buy a 20-foot diver, and then they're never, they're going to throw it on 15 pound or 17 pound fluorocarbon because they don't want to lose it in their mind, but their bait's never going to get to that 20 foot. They're throwing it in 12 feet of water the whole time. So throw as light a line as you can get away with, because that's the only way this bait's going to perform
How it's
exactly
supposed to?
how it's supposed to. If you buy a DT10, dives to 10 feet, Rapala, if you're not throwing it on 8 pound test, it's never going to get to 10 feet. Never. You're just
Even on the
floating it
salt,
in.
right?
Yeah,
Like even.
it's more so in the salt because of the buoyancy.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
I was just about to say, with the density of the salt water, I think you get less depth, right? And which you also
yeah,
confirmed.
for sure. And
So there you
when
have it, guys.
I was surf fishing on Saturday with 4 pound test. I was on the beach with 4 pound, smoked them, didn't lose one fish, caught corbina and surf birds. Like it was the bite was off the hook, but 4 pound. Like
What were you throwing?
I was just digging up sand crabs. There's
Oh, okay,
nothing. Yeah,
dude.
we just literally, it's
It's
every
fun.
once in a while you got to go down there and do stuff like that. And it was like,
Yeah, man.
as soon as we got there, if you hit the tide right, 2 hours, dude, you'll catch a bunch of fish, and then it dies, and then we went and had breakfast. It was like the perfect way to spend a morning. But yeah, we smoked them, little sand crabs.
Now, I want to break down the crankbait a little bit. When
Mm-hmm.
you're throwing the crankbait, are you doing those large sweeps to try and get that crankbait down as fast as possible? Because I'm terrified to do
It's not necessary.
those really big whips with anything less than 15, because I just feel like that much force is just going to snap off.
There's no need to. If you're having to make that long of a cast to hit your spot, you just got to move the boat. Put it in a better spot. You just got to picture where that bait. You're not going to bait. The bait's not going to get to the bottom faster. It's only going to be at the bottom for a split second before it's coming back at you again.
Yeah.
So you just got to kind of plan out like where that bait's going to hit its like climax of its depth. You know what I mean? So it's usually only maybe 15, 20 feet in front of you is when it's hitting its maximum spot before it's coming back out
Mm-hmm.
and seeing your face. So to me, that's why the long rods are the way to go when you're cranking. As long
What's
rods
your
you can
what's
get
your
away with.
setup? What's your crankbait setup?
I throw a 711. Yeah, 711 with a 6.3. I don't like anything faster than a 6.3 because I tend to crank fast. So if you got a
Mm-hmm.
7-1 or faster, more times you're ripping
You're
that bait past their face
yeah,
like too
yeah.
quick, and it's not really gonna run right. You're
And you're
burning.
gonna get tired too.
Yeah, because you're pulling against. You want something. You want the gears to work for you, not against you. So like a 6.3,
Yeah.
even a 5.4, if you're like dedicated to the big 20-foot divers, get a 5.4 and just sit there all day and just do this. Like you're not even working. Like that thing's just it's just yeah. You got to get the right gear. But 711 is my like, especially if I'm throwing like in the bay, 711, because you can whip a cast and get it way out there to get that bait to exactly where it's got to go. You know.
Yeah. So I was at PCS. I was helping out Ty from Tackle Supply in his booth.
Mm-hmm.
No, you messed it up as soon as you touched it.
Worse.
It's just you sound so far. It was perfect. You shouldn't have touched it.
It's out of my ear. That's why I'm
Hey,
There
doing
you
it.
go.
you're back. You got
Hey,
me
we're
off.
back.
So I don't know why it's falling out of my ear, and I cleaned my ears before coming on so I could hear you guys better. Uh, so I'm working with Ty from Tackle Supply at PCS, and I look over on the wall. There's these XD8s that you painted for him, and I mean, are the biggest things I've ever
Oh
seen.
yeah, those are 10
And-
XDs. Those are huge.
oh, they're
Yeah,
10
those are big
XDs. I
boys.
thought they were 8.
Is
Yeah.
that
Those
the? Is that
are
the?
so massive.
Is that like the? Dude, I'm blanking on the Mega Bass ones.
No, it's King.
Strike King.
No, I know, but is it like the size of the?
Oh no,
I
it's
I
huge.
can't.
I mean,
I
genuinely,
think if I have
like
any, I don't think so.
4 inches by like 2 inches wide. I mean, like just a really. And then I mean, that's without the bill. That's without the bill, and the bill's
Oh,
twice as
okay.
much.
And they
I
weigh
mean,
a ton. They're heavy.
that thing
It's like
is
an
the
ounce.
scariest thing to
More than that.
use.
Couple
More
pounds.
than an
They're
ounce.
just huge, but also a ton of fun. I'm trying to. I've gotten one fish on it, and I tagged you in it, but I'm trying to use that a little bit more. See if I can't dial in something with that.
So what are you throwing that on?
It's my biggest rod possible.
Your M1?
Yeah, I think I was actually throwing that on the M1, and I was using my Lexa 300 for it. So
Perfect. You need that reel for that bait, dude. In order to keep that, you need that. You need that spool, like with your thumb. That's a lot of bait,
yeah.
man.
The
Dude.
nice thing about that is I can hit spots that I typically can't hit with the crankbait, which is nice because it has the weight to cast further. And hey, if you guys are interested, come take my crankbaiting lesson. You know what I mean? I've been fishing it for the better half. The 5XD and the 6XD are pretty much what you're going to like use probably 90% of the time. If I'm going for the extra cast, the 5 and the 6XD are pretty much the same size, but I'll move up to the 6XD if I'm trying to just huck that bait out there to get that
Dude,
extra distance.
I just picked up. Oh, go ahead. Finish. I'll tell you after. Go.
No,
Extra
that's
distance?
pretty much it.
Extra
But
distance?
the 10XD is just so big that I'm shocked that anything wants to bite it. But I'm trying to build my confidence in it, so that's where I'm.
Dude,
It's usually the fish that's smaller than the bait that hits the bait like that.
John, the one fish I've caught with it was pretty much the same size.
Yeah.
size of the
Of the
crankbait?
bait.
Now, that's why I don't throw those big ass swim baits, because the only fish I'll ever catch on them are fish that are half the size of the swim bait, dude. Every time. Every time.
I'm so frustrated because I'm like, all right, this big bait is going to absolutely catch a giant. Who knows? A giant halibut, a giant striper, sand bass, spotty, calico, who knows? And it's like a spotted bait bass. And I was like, how did you even, why? Why did you even hit this?
Dude, I was doing some scrolling and some visual shopping. Came across a police for a bargain, bro. Bargain. Right? This thing's like this big. You seen the police, right? The DRT police?
Yep.
Dude, that thing is like 40
It's big.
feet. It's like dives 40 feet. I'm
It
like,
just came out, right?
no, I think it's an old bait.
Or somebody just came out with a goofy looking crankbait.
But this thing is like this big, dude. 40 feet. The bill's probably like this big.
Yeah, you gotta, like, back in the day, like the old bass pros, they found a rock. What they would do is they drive up to the rock, they make a cast, then they get on their trolling motor and then go backwards with the free spool and empty out their full spool of line and then lock it and then one reel and then they do it all over again. They kept moving the boat, but that was the only way to get this bait to that rock. Like, so that 40 footer, that's the only way I'd fish that thing is like pitch it and then run my boat backwards.
Dude, I wonder like what I gotta do some
research.
research, but I'm like, it's a big one. And I think that thing will get I'd probably get like 20 feet. I don't think I could get it to 40 feet.
You gotta make, that's what I'm saying. You gotta like make a cast and then go backwards.
Can you imagine? Like you probably just throw that thing like 4 or 5 times and you'll be tired already.
Yeah, so the hell with it. Yeah, most of the time throwing deep divers is a pain in the butt. It's tiring. Back in Arizona, that's all we did in the summertime was throw, DD22s and all kinds of old school divers, man. And
but man, when you get into that right one,
yeah, or the right one,
yeah, we're in
school of them.
we're
So
gonna
good.
have to have like Brett Wilson back on again because he's a crankbait. He's my crankbait guru, and I just and I always hit him up whenever I have a question. So I got the last conversation we had it was a little bit more about terminal tackle and figuring out that whole aspect. But Tom mentioned long lining, absolutely. I don't know if long lining is kind of possible with shore pounding, but
No,
if
it'd
you
be
take
hard.
my course, if you pay me $20, maybe 30, I can teach you how to crankbait from shore. Just kidding. Uh, I call it the poor man's troll, which is basically long lining from shore with the crankbait, and I mean it works amazing. Where it's where where you pitch it and then you walk and then you wind
Yeah.
it in, so you
So
get that extra long cast.
we've come to the mark, but we can't go without asking those PBs. Do you fish? What do you primarily fish?
It's
Salt
like
and fresh?
um, I would say out here I'm a mix of 50-50. It just depends where I'm at. If I'm in Arizona, obviously I'm only freshwater, but I like fishing for big bass. That's just kind of my thing. Um, but I'm a saltwater guy. That's how I started.
What's your
So
PB largemouth?
not very big, only 8.5.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
well out here that's
only
crazy compared to some of these. Yeah, but it was it was on one of my crankbaits, which was dope. It
nice.
she had it choked down her throat like it was in her gullet. It was I'll never forget that moment. But it was on a bait that I painted, so that was extra special. And it was in a spot.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Yuma. I fished the Colorado River a lot. That's like my home away from home, and that's where I caught it. Was on the river. And so after that, that's like the only place I go if I go fishing for bass.
Dude, 8 pounds is not a fish to be like, it's just a small 8 pounder.
No, but after just I've seen so many giant fish in my life. Like my buddies catch them, and you live in Southern California. I've seen like monster bass. It's just never on my line. So one day,
One
I
day.
I'm
agree.
facing, dude.
I'm
I
right
flew
there
all the way
next
to
to you,
Lake
John.
Bacharach, Mexico, to catch a 10 pounder, and it's like the lake of 10 pounders. And for 3 days, I caught 300 bass, but none of them were even close to 10 pounds. Then
How
I
is
leave.
it? Is that's in Mexico, right?
Yeah, down in
Is it
Culiacan.
specific? Like, it's special? Like, you need a, like, how did it, isn't it like a special lake? Like, you can't just walk up and
Private
fish that
lake.
lake.
No, no, it's a whole, and especially we're down in Culiacan. We're down in Sinaloa,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
so
Like, it's
it's
private.
it's sketchy. Like we got stopped by the cartel going into the lake.
Yeah.
That was scary as hell. Like they took our pictures and
Um, I'm
all kind
already
of shit.
seeing a version 2 of this podcast right now, episode 2. I
Yeah.
need to
No,
hear that story.
Oh
that's the
yeah,
land of the
that was a
giants,
fun.
right? Like,
It
they
is,
have big bass there, man.
bro. It is. We caught
I've
the
seen some
first
videos.
the first morning before lunch because you go in for lunch every day. I had 60 bass on the first morning. 60. Like it was the dumbest thing I ever experienced in my life. It was whatever you wanted to do, bro.
But it's
It,
really secluded on it. Like, it's not like you don't just get
there,
random people fishing it.
you can't. No, they won't let you in. It's only there's 2 lodges on the lake, and that's it. That's the only people that fish it. That and
All right,
Damn.
all the weed
let's
farms.
continue with the
But
PBs, but I want to save that story for episode 2 because I got to
episode
break
two,
that.
down,
I
super
want to
down.
know
That'd
how
be
much
good
I got to
shit.
pay the cartel to fish. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, what's smallie? Do you fish for smallies?
Only on the river, but certain spots. I'd say my PB Smalley's like 4.5 maybe. But I've only
Nice.
fished
That's a
only fished for them in Arizona.
Do
So
you feel like they fight like spotties?
yeah, if there's a fish that's like the same, those two fish, any fish that's got any red in their eyes always fight better than anything else. That's all I gotta say. They got red in their eyes. They're
Dude, I've caught one in my life, and
jumping.
it like I don't think it counted because it came off, but dude, it fights. They fight,
Yeah, if you ever go to Parker, Arizona, on the Colorado
and it
River,
was on a crankbait too.
unreal. Yeah, they love crankbaits, man.
What about like a spot? What's your biggest spotty?
Uh, not very big. I don't. I've never really like measured. I mean, out here I've measured them, but I haven't caught anything worth like weighing. So not very big. In Mexico, I mean, when I was in Mexico, we caught some big ones. I just don't remember how much they weighed. Maybe pound and a half or two would probably be my biggest one.
Okay, here.
Right on.
But probably no, but
No,
back in
Mexico.
Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico.
Yeah, there's
What about
millions of
calicos?
them
Do you
down
fish
there.
for calicos?
Not a lot of calicos down here. I mean, there's some calico fishing, but it's the best up around where you guys are at, man. Like up in LA, it's so good up there. So I haven't caught any monsters, but that's kind of like my next direction I'm going to move with the biz also, is throwing stuff or is making stuff for the calico guys. Because I've been making a lot of baits for spotty fishermen and things, but there's a lot of you calico guys that are out there on the patties and on the walls, and there's all kinds of good baits for that. So I did paint up a senorita fish the other day. I haven't launched it yet, but I'm practiced on it. So you know what those are, the orange fish?
Yeah.
Orange, yellow. So yeah, so get some of those painted up, and I think that'll be some calico candy right there for sure.
Those are always the good ones.
Yeah, anything with orange is always good.
All right,
All
gents,
right.
I
Well,
gotta get going.
we're coming. Yeah, we came to an end. John, thanks a lot for
man.
hopping on with us, hanging out with us this night. We might have to do this again because we got to talk about Lake Baccarat and how to get in and how to get out.
Yeah, it takes a lot both directions, so I no problem telling you.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, boys.
Hey, you got an online thing, right? So it's jakebaits.com.
Yeah. So jkbaits.us, and then and then on Instagram, jkbaits.
Awesome.
And just to clarify, that's KAYJ Baits.
Yeah, there is one guy on there that's JK Baits, but my business is without the AY, but on Instagram it has it because somebody somehow has it already. So no big deal.
Cool.
Got it.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for hopping on. Whoever stayed on this late. Peace out.
Peace.
See you later, John.
Same time.
Later, man.
See ya.